Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Emily Talks 2. So I don't know how I finagled this one, but I somehow coerced my high school ex-boyfriend to come and just chat with me and try to figure out why did he fuck it up. And I'll say this, he is still very hot. And looking into those hazel eyes, it's got me feeling all sorts of emotions right now. But he was so vulnerable and just kind of opened up about what did it mean to date in high school and what does it mean to date in your late 20s. So who knows? I think I may have to open that Pandora's box again, but go grab yourself a little endless breadstick and welcome to Emily Talks 2.
What up? Look at you.
You guys, I'm a little flummoxed.
I don't even know what that word means.
We have my high school ex, Mr. Kris Wade, also known as Christopher Wade.
That is true.
Uh-huh.
I'll take the booze now. I'll take all the hate.
And I'll say this. He's still hot.
Thank you.
He's still hot. He's got the hazel eyes, and I'm just going to be looking right into them, and it's going to be a little much.
I said the same thing about you when I walked in. I said, she still got it.
Yeah, we had a little moment when we saw each other. Was that just me?
I don't want that moment to end.
Oh, my God.
If anybody's watching, yeah.
Uh-oh.
You got competition.
Uh-oh.
I'm literally not trying to look at you right now. I'm trying to...
No, we're going to have to look at the ground.
Ah.
We haven't seen each other in years.
Since definitely over 5 years.
Yeah, because we dated when we were, 17?
Yep, going into final years of high school.
Okay.
You were prim and proper and fine as could be.
Ooh. Ooh.
I was the same. I mean, just...
Wow. But then we saw each other recently, briefly, maybe like 5 years ago. That's about it.
Really briefly.
Yeah.
You had moves. You were making moves.
Yeah.
You were on our side. You were on the west side.
Yeah.
No more Newport Beach for you, but...
And we were building chairs, which honestly I'd like to forget. Why did we do that?
And I still couldn't do it. I don't think I could do that. I remember the Apple TV.
Okay.
So I remember. You had comedy on.
Yeah.
Your pursuit of comedy, which I'm glad that you brought it full circle, and now we're here.
But I love that we did that because before that we also hadn't seen each other in...
Right.
Probably 6 years.
And you know, me, in my adolescence, I was like, okay, I'm going to go over there, see her. She's going to see me. She's going to be like, oh, you're cute. She said, skirt, nope, we're going to build a chair today. I said, okay. Well, I'm going to zip my pants back up. Okay.
What was my angle?
But platonic. But that's fine. You know,
my
like,
God.
Life comes at you fast. And
I probably was a little nervous.
That, and I remember I think we talked and like, I slighted you in our youth out of pure ignorance and not knowing what I had in front of me.
Well, we're going to talk about it.
Oh.
We're going to get into it.
I tried to jump the gun so I could get out of it.
So I thought it'd be a good idea to start off, and I want us to both tell our version of when we met each other. So do you want to go first? Like how do you remember us meeting for the first time?
I'm going to go first because... You know, a woman's memory is you got it. I'm gonna piss you off probably because mine is not gonna be great. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be wrong. Mm-hmm. But we were both in youth and government. Clearly, you know,
youth and government is like a California high school program. It's like a mock government. You go to Sacramento. It's basically just like horny teenagers talking about the assembly. It's so unclear. It's so unclear.
I think my delegation my lobbyist team tried to like allow squirrels or something to be in parks. Very unserious.
Yeah, it's not serious at all.
Yeah, none of those legislation got through.
No.
None.
So you did youth and government.
So I did youth and government first year. I really just wanted the sweatshirt. I thought it was a fire ash sweatshirt. And I think we're taking a bus. I could be wrong. Oh, this is my perspective. So we're on the bus, you know, like remember the Titans type shit. We was ready.
Yeah.
We pulled to a McDonald's. Now, this is where the story might be wrong. You could be like, wrong bitch. No, it wasn't me. But we took a little pit stop, our school, and we went in there. Were you in that McDonald's? Let me ask.
I was.
Okay.
I was.
Okay. Memory?
I was in this McDonald's.
Yes. So you were in this McDonald's. And I don't think there's nothing of it. You know, like, I mean, clearly because I noticed you. I don't know if you noticed me. But
We'll find out.
We'll find out. And I remember, I was like, okay, nothing of it. And then we ended up going to, was that Camp Roberts? Is that Camp Roberts?
Yep.
Okay. So by then, I mean, like, folks at home, she's a star. Like, she's top of the class. You feel me? She's banging the gavel, saying yes or no to shit. And I don't know if that trip we really had like we had a moment because okay, hold on. We had a moment because I know after that we began to talk, and another friend of mine, KJ, he was running to be the head of this party that we fictitious bullshit. And you invited us to come to Newport to give our spiel onto voting.
Yep.
I'm gonna stop because the story will continue. But what about you? How do you see that?
Okay, it's
I was
similar.
right, though.
No, you were right.
Good.
I'm gonna bring a little bit more heart and soul into it.
Right.
So my version is I remember pulling up to this McDonald's, and I see you in there for the first time, and I remember I just clocked you, and I was like, oh my god, he's so hot.
Well, thank you.
Whatever, we get back on the bus, and a friend of mine pulls up her phone, and she was like, oh my God, there's this guy in this other delegation. People keep talking about him, blah, blah, blah. Pulls up like your Facebook or something. And I was like, no bullshit. He was just inside the McDonald's. Like,
that's crazy,
I
though.
just saw him.
Damn,
whatever.
I'm a hit, man.
No, insane. So fast forward, we're in our little program or whatever. And I'm running one of the programs.
You sound
don't
like
say.
AA sponsor.
Yeah.
Our little program.
Our little program.
You know.
And you fucking show up in my program. You were like one of my.
Okay.
Do you remember this?
Yes.
You like
that wasn't planned or nothing like that. You're right.
You were sitting. You just like took a seat, and I was like, "What is happening?" So now I'm all nervous.
Oh my gosh.
I'm all flushed, and then I think we were like bumping and grinding. It's like the dance that they do, and then I think you asked for my number, and I specifically remember after the dance running back to our barracks, which LOL that we slept in Army barracks.
That was all dysfunction.
That was dark.
And bodies have been lost there probably. That's fucked.
Probably.
Damn.
And I remember pulling my pants down, running, because I was so fucking excited that you had asked for my number. Like, I was just...
Why was the ring not invented then? If that was in front of your barrack, I would have hacked the system.
I know.
Yo, that's crazy you said bumping and grinding at the dance because I forgot about the dance.
The dance.
And I remember I tried to find you through a CP. It was like Blade when you walk in the fucking club. I was like, look at shit. Wow.
Yeah.
You just made me smile because I forgot that I was put into the place. And my perspective, folks, is here is this very pretty, very strong-willed woman. And she's running it.
Oh,
she's running. Oh, and I'm remembering now because it was like a little circle meet you camp type thing.
Mind you, I just want to clarify. There are like hundreds, if not thousands, of kids in this program. Like the odds of you showing up in that circle was so bizarre. And so
God did.
I know.
That's actually, you're right. Like that's so weird because then we saw each other before. Okay. Before I get excited, guys.
And the rest is history. You were in LA, I was in Orange County, and we just had a cutie little time. And I want to know, when you look back on those years, where were you in your life at that time? Like, what was going on? Maybe family, school, interpersonal?
Okay, so that at this point now it's senior year, correct? Like now,
I think so.
Now we're going into that. And before I answer that, we continued to do things in Sacramento. We went on a little date to a little sandwich spot. Dry ass bread. But I did my thing, you know what I'm saying? At the time, I say this too, I say this a lot now, that like I'll frame it how I did say it, and it'll sum it up, that I like to be seen. I like to be, like involved. I like people. You clearly said that, I was a hot commodity on a
you
bus.
were just very effervescent. Like
Right.
you were charismatic. I could tell that people were drawn to you. I think you definitely had a presence
Right.
about you.
And the thing is, I think that kind of it's in hindsight, it's superficial. You know, like I thought like that more like I would be okay in life because of, you know, like my connection, you know, not connections, but my, you know, vibe or something like that. But
so did you rely on your identity based on other people's
you know what?
like, perception
Right.
of you?
And the thing is, I enjoyed being wanted or wanting to be around. But I always say too, like, that was super cool until everybody was getting into colleges and I got Cal State Bakersfield or whatever. Like you're in. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is it. And it just, it didn't hit me yet. But like all that, you know, like all those things that I wasn't really using. I cared more about being seen than really what I wanted to do with my life. And I didn't know that. Looking back on it, I was, you know, that's where I was. I was more in a place of, you know, like you know, being popular, being cool, stuff like that. But then everybody around me was excelling or had like a you know, a chance or a passion or something that's like moving them forward. And I didn't really have that by choice, you know, like there's no one else to blame but myself, you know. And those good times, they were great. They were fun.
It's like being cool wasn't the currency anymore.
Right. Ooh, and I love that, you know, like, and you have to grow up, you know, like, and that was one thing that always kind of made me to you, it felt like a Romeo and Juliet. It felt like, you know, In the Heights, you know, just two separate worlds because of me coming in and thinking you're attractive. You were thinking I'm attractive. We were vibing, but you were the head of, you know, like, what was your title? Boss bitch?
I don't. I have
you were running shit. Sorry guys, you know I'm nervous because I'm talking to the boss lady, but I would see that and I saw that we had a connection, but I was so, you know, like I didn't have that same kind of like smart or that kind of, you know, status in a professional or a, you know, an advancing kind of way. It was more like, you know, I was that guy. So it's.
But when we're that age, that's all that matters. If you can command a crowd like you did,
right? And I didn't use it not in a malicious way, but I didn't really use it to see like, okay, maybe I can use this, you know, like good relationship to, you know, find a passion or a drive. Like I never really saw that. And so life was good, you know, like at that time, I think my dad had gotten laid off by then or was about to, because he worked at Cedars-Sinai, like all growing up, my parents both worked at Cedars-Sinai, and he was losing his job. And it was an interesting time because I was seeing like firsthand that, you know, he was going to a place where they didn't want him, but he gave so many years, you know, so it was kind of like a fuck everybody kind of thing.
Right.
But
Were you feeling a little angsty?
Right. And also too, I feel more angsty when, again, I'm not getting acceptance letters. I'm not seeing a future that's solid. And then everybody around you we're pushing that. Right. You know, like you're getting closer to finishing school, you know, like youth and government. In hindsight, kids are watching at home. Hopefully you're not a kid, but that's a great avenue to learn a passion or learn how the world works. The world does not work on cool currency, kids. It does not work on that, you know? Like
I mean, some may say it does. I don't know.
Right.
But I also think at that age, you're literally still learning who you are.
Right.
How are you supposed to know where you're headed, what your major is, what school you're supposed to... It is... We all just kind of jump.
Right.
And
did you feel confident when you jumped? Because I know you went to Boston College. Did you feel like this feels like I'm gonna make this move, like it's right?
I don't know how much choice I had. Granted, I know I was very lucky and privileged to be able to go across country for school. But I also, you know, I grew up in a very homogenous town. It's all white. It's not really a community that I necessarily aligned with. And so I got to a point where I was like, I need to go be in a city and shake this juicy little ass.
Shake it, because honestly, what you'd just be leaving behind pumpkin spice latte
season.
I'm sure y'all live it up over there. Y'all got pumpkin spice toilet paper in that motherfucker.
Yeah,
I probably love that shit.
Front to back.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna pivot.
Please do.
I love saying that word. How do you remember us breaking up?
It was definitely a me thing.
That is correct.
I'm really, once I find something good, it's like I'm more, anamorphs. I anamorph into Stevie Wonder, and I immediately don't look at what I have in front of me, and I'm like, living, and I know for sure I was probably cutting communication off, or like removing the teat a bit, It was also, I'm not gonna go too deep because I'll let you give your explanation, but it was also too a fear thing, because like I said, like we come from two different worlds, and like I'm not trying to get political, guys, okay, but it's really true that it was like there was some like insecurities on my end, like like damn, like I'm pulling up to Newport in I think a Mazda 1996, ripped leather seats, like it just I didn't feel like I could be of any better for you, so it was kind of like, but that wasn't true. That's me assuming. But what I did was start pulling away.
First time you're telling me this.
I think it is. I
had no idea.
I think that, and that's really how it was. And it was. I kind of justified like not being like there because I'm like like
right.
I can't. I don't have anything to offer her. Like it would be, like. It was a self-conscious thing, like, and you never really see that shit in movies, you see all that type of stuff, but you never really think like, damn, what, but I know that you liked me and stuff like that. I always questioned it, but I knew you genuinely liked me. Like, we have more to get into, but she was buying my homies wings and shit like that. She was looking out for me, but I didn't feel like I could equally compensate that.
That makes me so sad because I feel like we had such a special, silly connection, and not trying to sound like a martyr, but I didn't care where you came from, like what that story was. I think I was just so drawn to you for who you were. But I understand it does go deeper than that, and that's obviously a privileged perspective for me to have. But
and also too, like, not even trying to be one of these guys, but like it feels like that sometimes as a man too, because as a man it's like, damn, like. And it's funny you say that because I feel like really deep down I knew that about you. I knew that you didn't really care about where I was coming from if I wasn't someone who got pumpkin spice lattes every fucking October. Like, you just liked me for me, but I was like, I still, like, I'm embarrassed. So like I was like, I pulled myself back. But I'll flip the question to you. How did you interpret or come to understand our
I remember it like it was
falling out
yesterday.
Great memory.
Yep.
I don't want to hear it.
So I show up to LA, and unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize it was 420. And you smoked a lot of weed back then.
I smoked a lot of weed back then, and you showed up to 420, not knowing the holiday. Fucking disrespectful.
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
Didn't even know. And
you probably were so turned off. Like, who is this fucking?
I wasn't prepared.
Method Man and Red Man ass, how high ass motherfucker.
It was wild. And I remember I was sitting on your lap, and you got a phone call. And you answered the phone, and you were talking, and I think that person was like, well, what are you up to? And you said, this girl from Orange County is here. And I remember being like, this girl from Orange County? What?
I remember this shit. Gosh, like...
Oh my God, it broke my heart. And it was something I think that switched me that just realized, you know what?
Man ain't shit.
This is not, like, he doesn't care.
Right.
And maybe you did. I don't know. But I just think something about it. I remember I drove home. I was sobbing.
Oh my gosh.
And then I think I called you maybe like a few days later, and I was like...
I remember. Oh my, it's so crazy that... Gosh.
Yeah.
Because it's like... I'm almost breaking the fourth wall here, and I'm like, kind of like, forget all this podcast stuff. I'm like, that, but that's really, I definitely shelved those fucking memories back with all that damn indica sativa hybrid. All that weed brought that shit suppressed. But I remember you sitting on my lap, music blaring, pit bulls barking, and that is crazy. Yeah. And in hindsight, I'm sorry.
You know what? We're here now.
We're here now.
That's all that matters.
Bygones be bygones, you feel me? They're not escorting me out like, I just want to talk. No, but like, oh my gosh, damn. I know I'm not shit. But also too, at that point, I see. That's why you asked, where was I at mentally?
Mm-hmm. Well, I just am curious. I feel like when we were that young, like we didn't really talk about those things.
Those, especially too, or like be able to feel them or understand them, because a lot of times when I was younger like that, the decisions I made, I would stand on them. You know, like I didn't wrong. Like, you know, it doesn't, you know, there's no big stakes.
Mm-hmm.
But as you get older, you realize like, oh, like that might have an effect on somebody else. You know, deeper.
Yeah.
Make you be not trust man, make you hear the word Orange County and get pissed the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that we were talking about before we started recording how like I've kind of just fallen back on all that type of stuff because I'm not even in a place where like it's not so much the fear of if I can't contribute anything for you financially or you know like or uplift, but it's like I don't even want to play with somebody right now. You know, like because of like look at that, like something like that, I'd rather just stay away from because that is very juvenile, very foolish. I didn't know what I had. You know, like you don't know what you had until it's gone. You know what? When I saw her today, y'all, yeah. I fucked up, guys.
Honestly, I wish more people did what you're doing now because I think realistically, we are all going through our own shit. And I think a lot of people are in a place to date, but maybe want that companionship. Not realizing that they're affecting somebody else in the process. And listen, we were children when this happened,
right.
So
I won't sulk. I am definitely disappointed.
Yeah,
in hindsight,
sure.
Because I mean, after that, even though we would see each other again, like I said, we saw 5-6 years ago. Like we've always had this like joyous little connection, like always. Like, and this is so crazy. Like I just. You're going to have to edit a lot of this fanning out over you. Because it's true.
I'm going to keep it in.
You deserve your praise.
Yeah, baby.
Look at you. You're doing it. You deserve your praise, girl.
My goodness.
Let them questions roll. Okay, the next one's probably going to get worse.
Okay. I want to do a little bit of work. Okay. Can't even talk. I'm nervous.
I know. Me too. Low-key, guys. My heart is racing. I just want to jump over this table and propose.
Uh-oh.
But we will wait.
So I want to do a little word association with you.
Oh.
So I'm going to say some words. And I want you to say the first word that comes to mind. It can be a word, a phrase, a person, whatever.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am not ready, but...
How about now?
Let's
Are you
do
ready now? Okay. Monogamy.
Ew. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, wait. I'm just going to go with it. That was a joke. But
Lean in. Cheating.
Rude.
Cuffing season.
Submit my application to you.
Marie Antoinette.
She was thick, right? Well,
not
cake.
doing
Oh,
that.
let them eat cake. Oh. I think my brain was trying to... She was known to let them eat cake. And I was thinking cake, but I was like... I think it was like, what are them little things they had on them? Like the little bassinet. That's not bassinet. What's it called? Like the little rib cage shit. They had they're just coiffed. Yeah.
Oh,
She
not
was
Marie
thick.
Antoinette being thick.
I might have to Google that.
Okay, last one. Quantum physics.
You seen Oppenheimer? Mm-mm. That's the only thing I can think about.
That's
Quantum
it.
physics. You know what? Let me change that. Isn't that when you have like you could do multiple realities? No, guys, I'm so dumb.
That's
Comments,
the
please
multiverse.
don't. No,
We're gonna
Spider-Man ass. That's multiverse. I thought it was quantum. Nope. Okay.
Tap out. Save yourself.
Do you
while
have
can.
one? Do you get to do that to yourself too? Oh no, you wrote these out.
Yeah.
So what's your answer to Marie Antoinette?
Oh,
Thick.
this isn't for me, boo. This is for you.
You
All
were gonna
right.
Test
No,
my might.
you did a good job. Okay.
What's my grading scale?
So, if we were still dating, where would we be?
Okay, you sat up, so I'll sit up. If we were still dating, I don't know why. I'm a little bit of a like I like my space, but I mean just even looking at you right now, I feel like we would just be talking all the time. We'd be on the phone.
Sweet pea.
We
would
would
we be
be.
in LA?
Yes, kind of still Valley because our careers like or my career like I had to be on the side of town.
Okay.
But if you wanted to move,
Oh, so we wouldn't be living together.
we would be living together.
Okay.
But if you wanted to move to another state, you'd probably do it alone.
Would we have kids right now?
Right now, no, but I do see. Thank you. Okay,
Thank God.
guys, I'm trying to answer these questions with a little bit of a bias to make her still like me. But kids with you would be amazing. Not right now. I mean, I'm the ripe age, almost 28. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
God.
I believe. Let me flip the question on you. If we were still dating, what do you think?
Where would we be? I definitely think we'd be living in LA. We'd be living together. I definitely think we'd have maybe a dog or two.
Okay.
I'd be best fucking friends with your mom.
I feel like you wear the pants, which I don't
Well,
mind.
Let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah, I swear. I walked in there in Sacramento, ready to give my little speech, and she was sitting up there with the fucking, like, you know, like the powder wig and the gavel. Mm-hmm. It was that in my eyes. And she was right in the middle. She had the council of fucking deciders. And I got up there and I was like, the and I couldn't even talk. Like, we've always had this dynamic, and that's something I've always liked about you, too. Is like,
Which, thank you. Because I had another guest, we were talking about this. It is sometimes hard to date. I realize I'm usually my masculine, you know?
You're a strong woman.
Yeah.
You're a strong woman.
So the fact that you're into that,
I'm
making
always,
me a little...
I like women I can learn from and stuff like that. And the thing is, let's get it right.
Yeah.
Masculine, we love it. But I'm not a submissive
No,
kinda
you're going
guy.
to choke me.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Hello?
I'm more like, you know, like around here, like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Anytime
Gentle.
I've ever done that, I'm always like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm very...
No, you would put me in my place.
Turn these cameras off. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, no, it sucks.
We're stuck in the fantasy.
We're stuck in the fantasy, and it sucks that every time I see you or talk to you, it just like I go right to fucking Bob Hope Drive Disneyland.
I think we lived a past life. I think you and I, we were, I don't know, trapped in a fucking house somewhere together for like 40 years.
Think about how life works, how we just saw each other randomly. Your friend says something. I end up in your
Everything
thing.
was so serendipitous.
I think maybe our past life was what Shakespeare wrote about. We really might have been star-crossed lovers.
Maybe.
Mercutio was black in the movie with Leonardo, right? Like, those could have been my homies. You feel me? Like,
you.
they really, like, I'm popping. Like,
So, are you mad at me because your other relationships just haven't been able to?
You're one of the ones that got away. One of the ones. There are
others.
There's not a big list.
Okay.
Well, it's just certain qualities of, like, you know, when you date, say you see, you know, you date as well too. You see things in people that, you know, even the people that you're not with anymore, that you kind of like admire that or like that. And that's, again, one of the things I always liked about you is, like I said, I could feel it deep down that you just wanted, you know, you wanted me for me. You didn't really care about all that stuff. And, like, you really are also a boss. Like, there's not a lot of people that are, like, that are bosses, that are funny, that are welcoming. You know, like, you don't have a guard up.
You're so
when
sweet.
you should, you know, like, you could be like,
Yeah.
you feel me? But
I actually
Orange
just
County-
brought him on this podcast just to gas me up. That was it.
That
That was it. That was my
literally,
angle.
this is it. Like, y'all thought that I was gonna be the one getting gassed up? No.
No, you're
This
so
is
sweet.
this reeks of, like, a typical ex coming back, and, like, people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, you know, like,
Who knows? Maybe we'll start a family together.
you know, like,
Get me in my third trimester.
I am waiting.
Hey,
I can add some more things to that spine. You feel me? Lift you up.
he knows about the metal spine.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
she's putting that work in. Regardless, I'm just kidding, guys.
Ooh, we actually never had sex.
We never did.
Because I was a virgin. I lost my
know?
virginity when I was 18, so we must have been dating, like 17.
I mean, I'm still virgin now. You know,
Oh,
like,
shut that mouth.
give it up to God.
Uh-oh. Okay, so then how is your dating life now? Oh, it's not good.
Well, like I said, I want people to fall in love with the online ideal of me.
But what's the difference? Who's online Kris and who's real Kris?
Well, online Kris, I feel like is a little bit more. What is the word? Because I can't think. You'll probably cut this part out because I can't think right now. But more, you know, like responsive, more like attentive,
present.
more present. And I have these bouts where it's kind of like I love the independence of kind of just being with myself and being with my thoughts. So I kind of come up short when I can talk. You know, I say all these lovely things online, and then people see me, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Where the guy disappears. That's me. So, but I mean, like,
But you can also find someone who gives you that space.
Right.
And then also, you know, you can be with together. I'm like, it's me.
I honestly,
It's me.
I mean, how is your dating life going so far?
Ooh, Christ on a bike. It's not good. It's not good.
Isn't this funny? Well, we're both doing astronomically bad in our dating lives.
Yeah, it's not good.
So-
No, I did a long distance thing at one point. After that, I just end up in these like short term, really intense things.
You're an intense person.
Yeah, but it's like Emmers.
Yeah.
Then I
You're-
dated a guy who just didn't believe in gay marriage and gave me chlamydia, I was like,
I've dated some ones. I was dating someone who she was cute. She had it all. She got me on the hook, and I usually don't date younger. I kind of always like to date older.
Ooh.
And then one day, just out of nowhere, she was like, "Hey," and I think I was hitting her up or trying to call her, and then she hit me up like, "Yeah, so like I'm hanging out with some dude right now. Like I don't really want to like date. I'd rather." And I was just like,
"Oh no!"
Okay, I just came back from a trip and bought you some stuff.
Oh,
let me see if I can fit these shoes real quick. I was like, "Damn," you know. I'm like, but I mean, shit. I'm Danny Phantom. I'm a ghost myself. You know, like I'm no better, but I'm trying to, at this point, this is so cliche, you know, like trying to work on myself. I don't want to say that, but I want to be able to meet somebody, you know, where I have a space to, you know, give them not only what they want, but, you know, I'm comfortable with opening up and being a little bit closer, you know, because I like to revert back into seclusion under the guise that I'm still working on myself. You know, like I still haven't got to where I want to go. But
But I think also the reality of that is we are always a work in progress. And if we constantly remove ourselves from the world because we're waiting to be a certain version of ourselves, we're waiting for the job or we're waiting for this, you're never going to be out.
Right.
But I also understand if you do want to do a little work, kind of go in your cave a little bit.
It's weird because there's an attraction, and I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes there's an attraction to that uncertainty, which is weird though because it's not beneficial, you know, like, you know, say this, I always say, like, man, like, I'm gonna give me a little Emmy, they gonna call my name. I scrub my social media so I don't get canceled. But like those things, I always put like, okay, well then I don't have to pursue this relationship because I'm still trying to get that, you know, like, and once I get that, you know, I'm good. So like I have these kind of slights and these like like fallbacks, like, oh well, that's why I don't have to be intimate, you know, or that's why I don't have to be around, because like I'm still focused on something that's a very big feat in itself that requires a lot. But again, like you're saying, you know, like,
are you afraid to get hurt? Like, is it like self-preservation, you think?
You know, yes, I would say. Are your parents still together? My parents are still together as well too. And I don't know, like a lot of people, they don't have that same opportunity, but that doesn't come with, you know, rainbows and stuff like that. And I think seeing relationships kind of like play out through your ages and like seeing that, you know, you kind of be like, you kind of get afraid, you know, that you might fall into a pattern of those things that could happen to you. And whether, you know, there's so many positives, you know, we're both so blessed for that. But sometimes those negative situations or those things that happen kind of make you like, well, shit, I don't want to be with anybody, you know, because like, what if this happens?
Are you saying that because your parents are together, you're afraid to be in a...
I think seeing patterns of like relationships, I've always been okay to do without. Right. You know, like I've always been like, well, I don't really, you know, like because, and me, like I said, I'm a pleaser. I feel like I can get derailed very easily. But as I keep word vomiting, I'm realizing that these are, it's just fear. You know, it is fear to get close. Everyone
has their shit. I mean, everyone, I feel like especially, you know, both of our parents who have been together for what, like 30 plus years, you know, you're going to also change as an individual as well as your relationship changing. Yeah.
It's also beautiful though, because like you get to see that it works, you know, like relationship works. Like they could, you know, I love my parents. They'll probably watch this and be having a hoot, but you know, they could cuss each other out and then the next day, I think I was seeing them the other day, they were watching a Netflix show. Watching some scary shit. So, you know, like it's there, you know, like that shit's there, but I don't think it's a fear. I think it's choosing to commit, and I clearly have commitment issues that are my parents' fault. But we were just saying, like, you did. But just the like you know, like I just said, like, oh, you know, I like the allure sometimes of not something solid, right? But that's detrimental to, you know, like that's not great. But it's also like, I want to go have some fun, you know, like I want to.
You also don't have to be in a monogamous relationship if that isn't your vibe.
Right. I don't.
You just got to explore what you want and what you don't want.
I might have to put like a pineapple on my door or something. Is that like the...
What the hell does that mean?
Isn't that the swinger sign? Maybe I just need to like buffet.
Maybe it tastes a little something. Okay. Who knows?
You know, I would think a monogamous relationship would be kind of what I would want. But since you brought that option up, is that something that you like, or have you ever thought of I don't even know how to say it. Polly pocket?
Yeah, Polly pocketing.
Have you? We just made a new term. I like that.
Yeah, have I thought about Polly pocketing?
Yeah.
You know, listen, if I have learned anything, it is something I may think today could be the complete opposite in 5-10 years. Right now in my life, I lean towards monogamy. I also I get overstimulated, so I can't imagine having to tend to 2 people. Like,
I wish I could imagine you overstimulated.
Oh,
what?
it's hello.
Oh, I wasn't. Sorry.
Hello.
Continue.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's why you'd have a lot on your plate.
It'd be too much. But again, who knows? Maybe I'm 40. I'm tits to the wind. I'm in a caftan on some boat.
Save my number.
Yeah,
because I will be there.
Hey.
That's. I don't know.
Who
knows? Are you actively dating right now? This is a question for myself, guys, because I'm just trying to test the water.
I mean, sure. I think I'm always open. That little smile on your face.
Oh yeah, that was that wasn't even
organic.
Coached. Yeah, damn it. I should yeah, I gotta cut my teeth out and just chew my gums.
All right. Well, I'm gonna close on a question I ask everybody, and it's interesting because with the other guests, there may be more specific titles like magician or sex coach or all these things, but
why can't I be a sex coach? No, I'm just kidding.
You tell me.
Wait, we never
had sex yet.
Show and tell.
Ooh. So I want to know, what is something you wish more people understood about being in a relationship with you?
That's a really great question. Can I have a second to really formulate that?
Take a beat.
Can you repeat it like the spelling bee?
Yep. What is something that you wish more people understood about being in a relationship with you? I guess if you could tell someone before you got in a relationship with them, XYZ, what is that thing?
I would say that I have internal, I won't just categorize it to fears, but I have these bouts or these mindsets that require me to, or that I don't like to open or put onto somebody else, because maybe in my mind it feels like like I'm burdening somebody, which is not always the case. But I would say that I have these, I have thoughts, or not thoughts, like, guys, I'm okay, I'm saying I promise, but I have these questions in my mind and these things that draw my curiosity that I'm not really so willing to open up about or to share. And at times I feel like that could be seen as being short or seen as keeping things in. And a lot of times even in like past or recent relationships, it's like I'm very short with things, and it's not because it might be a trust thing, but it's something that happens, and I think that it's good that people or someone should know that going into being in a relationship with something like me. It's in my mind, like, I don't want to burden, but it also is too. It's like I want to figure out these things myself. These questions that I have, or these things that I'm like calling to from the universe. I want to understand myself, and I don't want to always bring people into that. So it feels sometimes like I might be hiding something, or I might not really be true in my approach or response or answers to things. But that's just, and that's never changed about me. I've always had this curiosity, but not something that I always want to share. I'm a very open person. I'm a clown person. I say things that are unconventional and stuff like that, but there's a part of me that I like to keep to myself. And that's when you sign up for a relationship, some of those things you have to be willing to let go. Like you have to be like, okay, we're going to coincide, so let me give that part of myself up. And that's a really big thing to put into a relationship.
But there may be some things that you want to keep private.
And that's a big thing about like relationships too. Like not everybody wants, people don't want to hear that. Like if we're dating right now, on the other side of this, you said that same thing right now. Like there's things that I don't really feel like sharing with you, or don't really feel like explaining to you, because I'd rather internalize them myself. The person on the other end would be like, but you can't share with me, but you don't feel comfortable sharing with me, like, but I can't help you get to that resolution. And it's not a diss, but that's just kind of like something about me that I feel like would be going into dating me should be known. Yeah. Are you going to answer this yourself too?
No.
Okay, good. I know it's the last question, so yeah, and I just shit the bed with that one, guys.
No. That was great. And I am just so appreciative that you said yes to this.
Oh my.
Our once every 5 year little meetup.
Yeah, honestly,
darling.
This should be we're a 5-year challenge, you know?
Yeah.
And then in 5 years, if we're both single, I mean, you're what are you? You're like a Sauvignon Blanc. You get better with age. Like you're fine wine.
Ooh. All right, so we're gonna go fall in love, guys. This has been just an absolute delight.
This is fun. I hope I've been a good guest for your viewers, for you, because
great.
I got into like a mode where like it felt like I was having a therapy session.
That's my dream.
Which is exactly.
That's my dream.
I feel like I could have gave you a little bit more floor.
Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Quit it.
I'm gonna be hard on you.
Ooh.
What did he say?
All right. Well, Kris and I are gonna go have sex. Yeah. So, thank you, sweet pea. You're a dream.